Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Building Step's 20th anniversary virtual celebration. First, I want to thank the guests for joining us and not missing out on this very special milestone for us. We have a lot to share in the next 30 minutes, and you do not want to miss the alumni toast at the end. My name is Darrell Brooks, and I am a Baltimore City student and a part of the first Building Steps alumni cohort. I grew up in Cherry Hill, and at that time, I didn't think that college was really an option for me. I was fortunate enough to have a guidance counselor suggest that I consider building steps. I didn't know what the program was. I didn't have an understanding of what it really meant to think about college, as it wasn't something that I had on my radar. But luckily, the Building Steps folks and my guidance counselor saw something in me, and that's what they wanted to sort of encourage to grow. And it's because of that combination of my guidance counselor and also listening to Deborah give her speech around sort of why everybody should apply to Building Steps actually sort of got me to do the actual application. Sort of what was really important about that moment for me was, if nothing else, the thing that I remember the most at that time was that she said, just do it. And I think for me at that time, I was scared, I was nervous, and I did the application anyway. And luckily for me, I was accepted into the Building Steps program, and my life has been significantly different ever since then. You might be wondering how Building Steps has such wide reach. How do we continue to have such a solid and successful track record? First, you have to know that we don't do it alone. We rely heavily on volunteers, partnerships, and philanthropy to make it all happen. In fact, right now, you can be a part of the next 20 years, and please consider making a gift at the end of tonight's celebration. It takes time, collaboration, and resources to propel a Baltimore City student like myself to achieve something better. But Building Steps is not just about getting into college, it's about helping us stay in college as well. And more importantly, graduating college and going on to our first careers and starting our life really as professionals. Programming spans 2 years in high school and at least 4 years in college, and actually more than that. Building Steps would step back, maybe 4 to 6 years and say, oh, we've done enough, but that's actually not true. The team is in it for the long haul. From campus visits and help with the annual financial aid applications to provide resources and connections to internships that provide critical skills development for students all across Baltimore City. Building Steps make sure that we get through college prepared for the next step, a second degree, or starting a career. And like myself, I did both. I have multiple degrees, and I now serve as a research associate at the Bloomberg School of Public Health at Johns Hopkins University, where I did my first internship through the Building Steps program. Now, when I think about it, that's commitment. Speaking of commitments, tonight I would like to highlight three incredible stakeholders that exemplify unconditional loyalty to Building Steps. Stewart Kaplow is a founding board member and remains active today. He provides a breadth of legal and financial counsel and volunteers with the students. He is a trusted and dependable go-to guy for Deborah and the Building Steps team. Since my days at Building Steps, Stewart remains committed to Baltimore City students and our ultimate success. Like Building Steps, Towson University is jointly committed to Baltimore City and college completion. Towson University is a founding partner and has been represented on the board since 2000. In addition to office space, Towson provides Building Steps critical programming space. They host a junior seminar as well as a summer intern. Significantly, 12 of our students are undergrads of Towson, and we have over 42 alumni. Mile One Auto Group is a leader in corporate partnership. This year alone, they topped $100,000 in corporate giving. In addition to philanthropic support, their team helps our students foster professional communication skills by volunteering and engaging with them during speed networking and career events. Mile One hired a Building Steps student right out of college and helped her launch her career in accounting. They are all about creating pathways for student success. To Stewart, Towson University, and Mile One Automotive, we can't thank you enough. Building Steps could not do this work without you. Immense foresight and fierce dedication are just a few words that we've used to describe our next speaker. In fact, without him, Building Steps would not even exist. Matthew Weinberg, our resident visionary, launched Building Steps in Washington, D.C. in 1995 with the simple yet profound idea of leveling the playing field for underserved and underrepresented students who wanted to pursue science and technology careers. He relocated the organization to Baltimore in 2000, which is where I first met him. My first meeting with Matthew was a little odd, to say the least. He asked me about myself, and at that time, 16, awkward, I really didn't know much about who I really wanted to be or who I was. But what he really asked me in that moment was to really think about what motivated me. And in that moment, I rattled off some things that I liked or enjoyed to do. But in reality, what he really was trying to get at was what was it in me that was going to keep me committed to my own success? And when I asked him about sort of why he went through a particular way of asking me some questions about myself, he just reminded me was that literally that I would have to be committed to this more than he was, and that he would do his part if I would do mine. And so Matthew is the CEO of the Weinberg Group. He's a businessman, entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. As a chair emeritus, he is Deborah's kitchen cabinet, continuing to drive the organization forward. It is my pleasure to introduce our founder, Matthew Weinberg.